already. He's off the... Mufasa, he off the... I can't use him for the fantasy no more because my friend is off. So I got to find somebody else. Got to go back to Lenny Kravitz.
Looks like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron, Pierre, Teyana. Aaron, Pierre, that's Teyana.
It all began on what seemed like a simple, ordinary evening. The kind of night where nothing extraordinary was expected to happen. The kind of night that should have ended with smiles, laughter, and maybe a few memories for the fans who tuned in to catch a glimpse of their favorite star. Teyana Taylor had gone live on Instagram, just as she had done countless times before, slipping into that comfortable space where she connected with her fans in a way that felt easy, unfiltered, and genuine. She had always had that rare ability to make people feel like they were sitting right there with her, part of the moment, part of her world. On that night, she was doing what she does best, laughing, answering random questions from the chat, vibing to music, dancing in between her responses, and radiating the exact type of energy that has made her loved and admired for so long. For anyone casually scrolling through their feed, it would have looked like nothing more than a light-hearted session, a star casually giving her followers a slice of her life. But beneath the smiles and laughter, something else was happening, something none of the fans expected, and before the night was over, the atmosphere would change completely, shifting from joy to shock, from fun to heartbreak. Because while Teyana was live, giving her time to the people who supported her, her partner, Aaron Pierre, was making a move of his own, and it was not the kind of move that screams love or encouragement, not the kind of move that feels like partnership or solidarity. It wasn't a sweet surprise, it wasn't a gesture of pride, and it wasn't even a supportive shout-out. Instead, in the middle of her live, Aaron pressed one button, a single digital action that carried more weight than words. He unfollowed her. It was a cold, deliberate unfollow, and within minutes, the internet noticed. At first, it felt surreal, almost like a rumor spinning out of nowhere, because fans in her chat began dropping small comments, whispers in the flood of emojis and song requests. Wait, did Aaron just unfollow you? Some viewers brushed it off, assuming it was just trolling, because people on the internet are always looking for drama, always ready to stir the pot. But then the receipts rolled in, screenshots of his following list just minutes before, compared side by side with screenshots from that exact moment. And there it was, undeniable. Her name, gone. That single detail, captured and spread across the internet in seconds, sent shockwaves into her live session. What had been a stream filled with heart emojis, laughter, and playful energy suddenly shifted into chaos. The chat exploded, thousands of comments piling up, spamming the same thing over and over. Aaron just unfollowed you. Girl, check your man. It's over. Some begged her to look at the comments. Others argued about whether it was real or fake. But no matter which side you believed, the energy inside that Liv had changed completely. And the most heartbreaking part, Teyana noticed. You could see it in her eyes, in that split-second flicker of emotion. Her smile faltered, her laugh didn't land the same way, and her gaze drifted off, distracted by something only she could feel in that moment. She tried, bravely, to keep pushing forward, to entertain her fans, but the weight of what had just happened was impossible to ignore. Imagine being live in front of thousands, performing happiness, while realizing in real time that your partner just made a statement to the world without saying a single word. That unfollow wasn't just a button click, it was a declaration, a public message that seemed to say, this is done. And what made it sting even deeper was the timing. To do it during her live, in front of everyone, was like twisting the knife in public. When the live finally ended, the internet lit up like wildfire. Within minutes, Twitter was flooded, hashtags like #It'sOver, #AaronUnfollows Teyana, and #GirlMoveOn started trending. Memes began to pour in, some mocking the situation, others genuinely expressing heartbreak for her. TikTokers recreated the moment, acting out what it would feel like to be on live and suddenly realize your partner had unfollowed you mid-broadcast. What started as news turned into a cultural moment, the kind of viral spectacle that spreads beyond fan circles and becomes part of the larger internet conversation. Some fans were furious with Aaron, calling the move childish, petty, and humiliating, saying that no matter what was happening behind the scenes, there was no excuse to embarrass Teyana so publicly. Others defended him, arguing that unfollowing is just a boundary, that maybe he was tired of being in her shadow, or tired of their drama spilling into the public eye. But whether you were on one side or the other, one fact was undeniable: this was no longer just a private relationship issue. This was now a spectacle, and Teyana, knowingly or not, had been forced into the spotlight of a breakup in real time. In the hours that followed, she didn't make an official statement. She didn't go live again to clear the air, nor did she post a long caption explaining her feelings. Instead, she spoke the way she often does, through subtle, cryptic posts on her Instagram story. Quotes about peace, about letting go, about not forcing people to stay when they clearly want to leave. To her fans, those posts said more than words ever could. They weren't random. They were her way of telling the world what everyone already suspected: it was over. The heartbreak was hidden between the lines. For years, her fans had watched her give her heart openly, sometimes to men who didn't protect it, sometimes to men who let her down. They had seen her fall, pick herself up, and try again. So, this moment with Aaron wasn't just about him. It was about every time she had given her all and gotten little in return. Her supporters weren't just angry at Aaron, they were protective of her, demanding that she be treated with the love she deserves, not discarded with a simple click. Meanwhile, Aaron stayed silent. No captions, no explanations, no tweets. But silence does not erase actions, and his moves spoke louder than anything he could have said. Fans noticed when his Instagram bio changed, when references to love were suddenly gone. They noticed when he liked shady posts that seemed to hint at freedom, at moving on, at not being tied down. Every small action was dissected, turned into evidence, and debated endlessly. Was he trying to send another message? Was he doubling down on his choice? Or was this just his way of retreating from the noise? The fanbase split even deeper. Some called him heartless, cruel, incapable of respecting the woman who had stood by him. Others painted him as a man finally reclaiming his own voice, finally stepping out of a dynamic they thought wasn't healthy. And all the while, their private heartbreak was consumed as public entertainment. But beneath the memes and the debates, a bigger question loomed: why does an unfollow matter so much? Why does a single digital action hold so much power? The truth is, in today's world, the unfollow has become symbolic. It's not just about removing someone from your feed, it's about publicly cutting ties. About saying to everyone watching, we are no longer connected. And when that happens in the middle of your partner's live, it's no longer just personal. It's performance. That's why this story spread like wildfire, why it hit people so deeply. Because it wasn't just about Teyana losing a follower, it was about Teyana losing the public image of a relationship she was still holding on to. It was about Aaron choosing to end things not privately, but in front of thousands. It was about how modern love collapses not behind closed doors, but on timelines, feeds, and trending hashtags. One minute you're laughing with fans, the next, your relationship is unraveling for the entire world to see. The same internet that once celebrated them as a couple now mocked and dissected their downfall. So, where does this leave them now? On the surface, it feels final. The unfollow, the cryptic quotes, the silence, they all paint a picture of an ending. Not just any ending, but the kind of ending that doesn't need a press release because the silence itself is confirmation. Yet, if there's one thing people know about love under the spotlight, it's that nothing is ever truly final. Breakups don't always stick, and they rarely happen cleanly. Sometimes they are temporary storms that clear the air for reconciliation. Other times, they are the turning points into messier, more complicated chapters. Celebrity relationships follow no straight path, and this could be just one more twist in their story. Because love, especially the kind lived in public, doesn't disappear overnight. It lingers. It clings to old photos, to mutual friends, to unsent drafts of messages, to memories that refuse to fade. Maybe they'll reunite, maybe they'll remain silent forever, maybe something messier lies ahead. But what's certain is that night changed everything. And the most striking part. It didn't happen with shouting, or a fight, or a scandalous video. It happened with a pause, a decision, a single click. One unfollow, one quiet action that was louder than any argument could have been. And now, the world watches, speculates, spins narratives, and waits to see if this was truly the end, or just the beginning of an even more unpredictable storm. Because love stories under the spotlight never follow the rules, and this one is far from over.